So in the history of defense mechanisms, of course, like everything that is in psychoanalysis, the original author of defense mechanisms was Sigmund Freud. And he, of course, was his work on defense mechanisms was very premature because he was very focused on the psychosexual stages all throughout his career, and then he switched a lot to dream analysis and dream interpretation towards the end of his life. So his work with defense mechanisms was not too much, but he does have a few writings about it where he has talked about how they are basically changing impulses of the id. So, like I said, an impulse arises from the id, the superego steps in and says, you can't do this. So, the ego produces a defense mechanism to act as a bridge between the superego and the id. So, it was mainly his daughter, Anna Freud, who picked up her father's work on defense mechanisms and decided to take it forward. And she eventually wrote an entire book on it. I think it's called The Ego and Its Defense Mechanisms or something like that. I'm not too much into Freud and his family, so I haven't read too many of their books. Now, this is where we come to how I said that according to Anna Freud, clearly she means that, or when she says that they are from voluntary and involuntary learning, this is exactly what she means with what I said about them being partly conscious and partly unconscious, because involuntary learning is learning that you don't pay attention to. For example, how to walk, how to eat, what tastes, what language, what culture you're picking up from your parents. These are things which are involuntary. They just happen because you're there. Voluntary learning is, okay, I like to read French or I like to read psychology, so I'm going to pick up on that. So this is where the defense mechanism develops. It develops as a result of a combination of involuntary and voluntary learning. And if it is coming from involuntary and voluntary learning, then clearly they are involuntary and voluntary in nature. So a part of them arises without control, involuntarily. You react to a situation with a particular defense mechanism, and partly you are also voluntarily using defense mechanisms that you're aware of in day-to-day life, repeatedly using them because they suit your purpose, or they act well in your case. They help you to deal with situations that are otherwise difficult. So I hope this makes it clear about how it's very important when you read something on the internet, even a trusted source like Wikipedia, that you kind of, keep your mind open when it comes to psychology, especially historical psychology, because there's a lot of distortions about how psychologists wrote about certain things. Like Anna Freud wrote about defense mechanisms clearly being voluntary and involuntary, but for some reason Wikipedia has written that it's mostly unconscious, which is actually contradictory to what they write again later on in the page about Anna Freud's work. So it's a contradiction of their own information. So this is where history distorts itself a lot, especially when it comes to writings of psychologists, because these writings are all in German and Austrian and Swiss, and they're translated to English, so a lot is lost in translation as well. So this is how defense mechanisms came about. Now, she wrote about something very interesting. She said that she wrote about a concept called signal anxiety. What this means is basically anxiety is a function of the ego to signal the brain about impending danger. And the minute this signal anxiety arises, the ego realizes that something dangerous is happening, which is distressing for the mind. And it steps up the defense mechanisms to protect you from further damage or whatever distress that you're facing. And Anna Freud's main work was towards these particular defense mechanisms, which was repression, regression, projection, reaction formation, and sublimation. These were the 5 defense mechanisms that she mainly concentrated on and wrote about in her life. And up until then, these were the 5 defense mechanisms that were agreed upon by everybody, that, okay, yeah, these are the defense mechanisms that we use. Later on, of course, many were added by people like Otto Kernberg and George Weiland. If anybody is interested, I'm not going to go into Weiland today because he's talked about neurotic defense mechanisms and mature defense mechanisms and pathological defense mechanisms. If you're interested, George Weiland, he has some writings on this. You can read about it. There's lots on Wikipedia also, and there's other sources also where you can find writings about defense mechanisms, where he's actually categorized which defense mechanisms lead to neurotic behavior, which are pathological, which are healthy, things like that. So George Weiland had a lot of contributions later on.